Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. This video is going to focus more on the bugs that have been reported through Adventure Awaits and not necessarily a review of the pack. I don't own the pack, so I feel as though it would be a bit unfair for me to give a review when the only content I can see is kind of based off of other people's videos. If I do get the pack, I might review it, but I don't have it, so I'm not going to do it. There are reviews out at the moment, so I do recommend kind of going around to different YouTubers and checking out the pack. Now, the Sims 4 Adventure Awaits expansion pack has been out for almost a week at this point, and just kind of roughly looking through some of the reported bugs that came with this pack, I counted at least 30 bugs, which isn't a good thing. It doesn't feel like this pack was tested enough before it was released, but then again, I feel that way with most packs. I'm not going to go through every single bug report that I found because there are just simply too many. So I have picked a few that I want to talk about. If you want to read the full bug report, I'll have it linked down below in the description. I also want to say that if you experience any bugs, whether it's through this pack or just in general with the game, please do go and report the bug. I know it's a bit of a hassle doing it, but at the end of the day, it might actually help developers identify the bug and fix it. Now, I'm going to kind of divide these bug reports into three sections. The first one being fairly big bugs that will directly impact the way you want to play the game. The second section being more oversights, and the third section being more visual glitches. Now, the first report we have is Kids Camp Getaway automatically ends before starting. Fitness retreats work fine, but as soon as my sim arrives at camp, it comes up with the "Your getaway is ending, do you want to extend or go home" pop-up. If I press extend, it just comes straight back up. I've tried different setups, locations, sims, etc. I've repaired and restarted my game, but it's not working. That is a very sucky bug. One of the big aspects I think advertised with this pack was the Kids Camp Getaways, and I've seen an alarming amount of bugs reported with the Kids Camp Getaways. I've also seen a review where someone said that the cooking contest getaway scenario just doesn't work, so that's good to know, I guess. The Kids Camp Getaway just not even being able to start, that's a pretty big red flag. The next one is on a similar wavelength where it says recurring getaway options not functioning. With the getaway system, there is an option to mark a getaway as reoccurring. However, this feature does not work as intended. Custom venue not saving roles or schedules. I'm trying to build and set up a custom venue, but every time I leave build mode, the schedule has reset. I can't even imagine how annoying that is. That one has 117 upvotes as of when I'm doing this video. Quite a lot of people running into this issue. Next up, we have archery competition does not work. All archery competitions, no matter if on a getaway, community lot, or at home, work for a time but do not complete. Just before it ends, the sims just lose their task and walk away without any outcome to the competition. How anticlimactic is that? But the whole archery system was very heavily advertised and a lot of people were excited about it. So it kind of sucks hearing that apparently the archery competition just doesn't really work for a lot of people. Another aspect with the whole kids camp thing comes with this bug report, which is camp director servings only one plate at the camp. So at the camp director is only serving one plate at a time when there's 8 kids on a lot. So the way that I understood this is instead of the camp director serving a group meal, they are serving singular meals, but it's also trying to recognize it as a group meal, which is causing a whole lot of chaos with the whole dinner system. Like I said earlier, I've also heard of some issues when it comes to the cooking contest, and also just in general, if you have one of the activities to be to like cook meals, whether that's in a schedule or whether that's an actual activity, there's a lot of issues with that, with incorrect group sizing or other people who don't have that role also trying to make food. So it seems like food and this pack just don't seem to be getting along for some reason. Now, the last bug I want to talk about in this little mini category has to do with custom venues. Painting activity not working on custom venues. I just created a custom venue with art activities such as painting, woodworking, and flower arranging. When I plan a getaway on the slot, each role gets to the activity except for the ones that are supposed to paint. Now, this bug actually included a photo, which I really appreciate. They're all kind of just standing around and nobody else is joining in on the painting, which kind of just goes with the whole problem of autonomy. Again, it seems as though autonomy is just acting very weird with this pack, but I don't even want to say it's just with this pack because I think just in general, Sims autonomy can be a little bit weird, but it definitely isn't helping in context of this pack. Right, next up we are going to look at some bugs that have to do more with oversights in my opinion. First off, we're going to talk a little bit about the new Formative Moments. So Formative Moments is basically, the way I understand it, a new system that was introduced that are specifically for children's Sims, and if you complete your Formative Moment, then you can get some sort of reward trait or reward, I'm not too sure what you get, but some sort of reward when that Sim ages up. With that being said, there is a bug report over here that says Formative Moment, be a good student, does not fulfill if already a student. So if your Sim is already an A grade student and they have this Formative Moment, then basically it will not fulfill itself. So I don't know if your Sim is going to have to drop a grade and then advance back to an A grade in order for this to work, but it just kind of seems a little bit like an oversight, like, oh, this is your goal, but it won't be met if your Sim already fulfilled that goal before your Sim gets the one to fulfill the goal. It's a little bit of an oversight in my opinion. Continuing with the whole Formative Moment oversight, bottle feeding a horse doesn't count as feeding animals. So for what I can tell, it looks like that one of the Formative Moments that you can get says, I'm going to do 6 nice things for other Sims. One of those things include feeding a pet or animal, but if you bottle feed a horse, this doesn't fulfill the one. So again, a little bit of an oversight that they didn't seem to include horses with this pack. I also saw that in one of the activity menus, I believe, I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on this, but it seems as though they had left out the horse ranch. Is that the pack's name? I don't know. The horse pack. They have left out the horse pack in one of the other systems, which kind of seems like an oversight. One of the big selling points with this pack was showing off how much of cross-pack compatibility there was. So the fact that it seems as though horses has kind of been left out of the whole system is kind of really sad. If you're out there and the only 2 packs you own is Horse Ranch and this pack, that sucks. Now, talking about cross-pack compatibility, this issue involves seasons. Kids going to school on holiday despite time off checked. Hi, so the first bug I encountered with Adventure Awaits has to do with the calendar. I have a holiday set up with the box checked for time off work/school. As of today, this is now ignored and the kid went off to school even without notice. So just be aware of that there is a possibility that your kids will go to school even when they're not supposed to. Another oversight in my opinion, and this is a strange one, but apparently the career rewards lack a price or worth. So 3 of the career rewards, the Ranger's Esteem Archery Target, a Helping Hand Paper Mache, and the Sky Piercer, apparently those 3 items just don't have a price when you want to buy them. That is a very weird oversight to me. I don't know if that is a bug maybe that is conflicting with something, but to me it seems more like an oversight. I don't know why you would add an object into a game that doesn't have a price, even if it's a career reward and technically you do get it for free if you complete that. A lot of the times if my Sim isn't in that career and I want to get that object, I just kind of use cheats to unlock it and then I just buy it that way. So the fact that there's no price but this is kind of strange. I don't know if it's for free or what's going on, but 3 items apparently have this issue. It's not just one, there's 3 items with this issue. Now, another oversight is that the modular curtains are missing curtain rods. So as you can see from this image, which I'm not even going to talk about the fact that they basically just reused another CAS item. Like, I'm done with that. This isn't the only time they've reused content in this pack, but that is a completely different video. Basically, the Forend pack and the Desert Looks pack, they have kind of these curtains, and then they also have the beams separately probably in case you want to like create your own curtains, which is like really cool. But for some reason, even though the Adventure Awaits curtains seem to be an exact replica of the Forend curtains, they did not come with a separate rod, which if you're going to copy an item exactly how it is and just change the swatches, why don't you copy the entire item? Why didn't we get a rod when you're reusing the curtains anyways? Like, at this point, you can't even reuse your own content correctly. Like, at the very least, give us the same rod. If you're not going to give us a new version of curtains, if you're going to give us a recolor of existing curtains that you've already created, you might as well add the rod. I don't know why they did this. It's one of those things. It's one of those small things that, like, shouldn't upset me as much as it does. It's just an annoyance. I'm going to move on before I absolutely explode. Now, lastly, we have the category of visual glitches, and I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. Firstly, we've got some clipping issues when it comes to the butterfly habitats. There's an issue with low quality pine trees. Kayaks appear full of water, which probably isn't the best. It kind of low-key looks like your Sim is in a constant state of drowning. We also have some weird visuals going on with some of the kids' hair. And lastly, we have a wrinkled leg texture that appears on a child Sim when you put the skirt on them. So very weird bugs. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, although I selected a few bugs to talk about, there were many more bugs out there that I just didn't have the energy to talk about. Like I said, I counted at least 30 bugs. I stopped counting after 30. For what I can tell, it seems as though this probably wasn't tested enough. And in my opinion, EA basically uses its consumers as bug testers anyway, so I'm not really surprised by it. I'm just continuously disappointed by it. This was a pack that a lot of people were really excited for. It seemed to contain a lot of elements that people have been asking for. The Sims team also really pushed the advertising for this pack. It seemed like this was the biggest push when it came to advertising that they have done in a while, so a lot of people expected this pack to be really good, and a lot of people were very disappointed. Now, like I said, I can't really talk on the pack itself. More so, I'm just talking about the different bugs that are being reported that is in turn affecting Sims gameplay. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that you're notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about the bugs with the new pack, and I hope to see you guys in the future in a more happier video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.